Hello, this is Angelo with your Project Next Accelerator bonus and our Digital Growth Masterclass number 4. Today, again, we will be focusing on mindset, but more specifically on a 3x3 blueprint with simple yet powerful exercises that you can use every single day to fortify your thoughts and your emotions. Remember, the name of the game, as Tony Robbins calls it, is emotional mastery. Robin Sharma likes to call it heart set. I like to call it fortifying your emotions or strengthening your emotional fort. I want you to visualize this. Every single day, we live simultaneously in two worlds, right? We have our outer world, where in most cases we cannot do something about it to change it instantaneously, but also we live in our inner world, our thoughts and our emotions, where we have complete and irrevocable control. So this is very important. Maybe you cannot change your balance sheet or the balance in your bank account like with the press of a button, but at the press of a mental button, you can change how you think and how you feel. And this is very important because the better you feel, the better you perform, and the better you perform, the better results you get. Before we go into today's subjects, though, I want to ask you, did you do the happy landing exercise that I gave you last time? We did this simple meditation last time, right? Did you do it more than once? Because if you didn't give permission to do it more than once, you also didn't give permission to yourself to see that you can actually become more aware of the exact frequency of your destination, of your end goal. And the more accustomed you become with this frequency, the more you resonate with it, the more real it becomes in your mind. And let me remind you again, first you will see your vision with your eyes closed and then with your eyes open. First you will feel success and then you will see success. It cannot happen the other way around. And when it happens, like for a short period of time, because every time it happens like this, then you retract to your old frequency, to the one you're accustomed with. This is why it is so important to be able to see yourself and feel exactly as successful as you want to be with your digital product. So now, let's start with the first of the 3x3 blueprint, right? Number one is priming. The things that you do when you wake up in the morning while you're still at alpha state, this highly suggestive state between sleep and being completely awake, the beta state. Okay, in this alpha state, and while you're still in bed, you want to do three things. Number one, you want to bring into your mind something that you're truly grateful for right now and stay there for a few seconds. Stay in that feeling for a few seconds. Number two, you want to do the happy landing exercise, a quick version of it. And then again, for a few seconds, see and feel yourself as you want yourself to be. See and feel yourself at your financial destination, having achieved the success that you desire with your digital product. And number three, do a quick run through of your day. So, for example, if you have an important meeting today, you do like a quick happy landing exercise for this specific meeting as well. And you see yourself coming out of this meeting happy that you got the result and happy and grateful that you got the result you wanted. This again is very important because as you lay your bed, this is how you sleep. And as you lay your day, this is how you see it. Remember, your life will always be as good as you dare to design it. And maybe not everything will be as good as you design it. But if you ignore the design in the first place, there is no way for you to have what you want. First of all, you design your day by seeing it through the most important aspects of your day. Also, you might take a few seconds again to see yourself moving safely from point A to point B. So if you have to drive like 50 miles today to go to a meeting or to go see a client, you see yourself arriving there safely and coming back home safely. It is important for you to design your day right. Number two, let me check my notes, but number two is again, let's say, like the second part of your priming, which is when you get up, you want immediately to awaken your body as well and fortify your body to perform at its best. And again, I will give you three, I could give you like 3,000, but you won't do it, right? We want our blueprints to be simple and doable. We want them to be viable. We want them to be sustainable so that we will not do them just once. We can do them every single day. So, which are the three things that you do to awaken your body? Number one, you have at least 2 glasses of water when you get off bed. Like 2 shots immediately. Immediately. Because this will awaken your whole system. And number two, you will actually, let me retract for a moment. This is your number two because I was about to tell you about the Wim Hof method, the breathing technique, and it is best to do it with an empty stomach. So forget for another 10 minutes of your day as you wake up, forget about the water. You first begin with your Wim Hof method. This is something that, I mean, it completely revolutionized the way I feel in the morning. And I like to do it in the beginning of the day for one reason. Because as Wim Hof suggests to keep your body as relaxed as possible, when you begin with this method in the morning, it is very easy for you to go through this exercise. And you do like, I will give you a link for it, so don't worry about the method right now. I don't want to digress on that right now. But basically, what it is you do 3 sets of 30 breaths and then a prolonged state of holding your breath. And this is very powerful because as I heard Wim saying once about this method, basically, if you do this right, it has the same effect in your body as bungee jumping in terms of adrenaline. And you have an immediate kick in all your systems, an immediate kick. It is very powerful. Actually, you don't have to believe it. I do, but okay. Wim Hof actually he was given into his bloodstream E. coli, the bacteria, and through this breathing, he managed to control and eliminate this bacteria. This is how powerful breathing is. Basically, if you think about it, breathing is what is keeping you alive right now. But what happens in most cases is that we do shallow breathing and then we engage stress into our lives. And what Wim Hof is trying to do for us with this breathing technique is to help us eliminate stress and take control of how our body performs, to have a truly strong vehicle to get through our day. Number two, now you can have your 2 glasses of water. And number three, is again something I don't have a name for it, but since I learned it from Tony Robbins, and if you have attended UPW, you definitely know it. It is what I call Tony Robbins's testosterone posture. Basically, what you do is lift your shoulders back and stay there for a couple of minutes. And then, like breathe, not like the deep breathing that you do with Wim Hof, but taking breaths to your upper body and the upper compartments of your lungs. Like basically, like King Kong, feel a bit like King Kong. And As Tony Robbins says, this has an immediate kick in your testosterone levels and an immediate drop in your stress levels. So again, you prepare your body for a massive success in your day. And these are the three priming tools, exercises. Use the word that is more fitting to you and less stressful to you, because I really want you to do this for a few days and see the impact it makes in your life. Number three, the three core laws that I live by. And when you remember these three core laws of life, for me, these laws will never ever change. I may have more than three, but these three will never go away because they are the most important things that I have come up in my life up until now. And if you want to borrow these three laws or maybe tweak them and add your own, feel free to do it, because from the moment I said that these are irrefutable laws, everything changed in my life, because I realized that I need to be doing on a daily basis, on a moment by moment basis, things to make these laws real and abide by these laws. So, number one, you know the phrase, I deserve everything I want and everyone deserves my best self. This is law number one. And by this law, I remind myself that I deserve everything I want, but also that everyone else, including you, of course, deserves my best self. So for me to give you the best masterclass possible, I need to do these things beforehand. And while I am at this masterclass, I need to do some other things. And then I need to learn more things and get rested and everything so that I can prepare for the next masterclass. This is how important this law is. Number two, nothing is more important than that I feel good, which means that health is always my number one priority. And if you remember this little cross that I have created before in a previous masterclass, where I show you the H in the first quadrant, which means health and happiness, and the F that I have in the second quadrant, in the bottom right, in the top right quadrant, which is family and friends. These are my top priorities. But on top of everything is my health, because the moment I have a headache, I'm not talking about something serious, right? The moment I have a headache, I still underperform. Then imagine having something more serious. Then your performance could drop to even to zero of what you can do today to bring more value to your clients and so on. So, number two is nothing is more important than that I feel good. And the third law that I abide by is that I am happy and march unstoppable towards my vision. So happiness comes first. As I told you before, the two H's are like my core, health and happiness. Number one, health. Number two, happiness. So what does that mean? It means that today I don't want anything to happen for me to feel happy. I tend to feel happy regardless of circumstances. I do whatever it takes to practice unconditional happiness. And when something happens that takes me down from this level of feeling down to, let's say, gratitude, or even much lower to anger, I immediately trigger the exercises that I gave you in the previous masterclass to raise myself again to the level of happiness immediately as soon as possible. As Bob Proctor likes to call it, I don't have bad days anymore. I have bad minutes, maybe bad hours, but I do not leave myself in a low feeling state for a long period of time. And of course, because I am Angelo and because we are talking about peak performance here, I cannot give you a 3x3 matrix. I always want to go the extra mile, so I will give you the 4x3 matrix. And the fourth part that I want to talk to you about today, which again is very important, is priming for the next day. So I will give you 3 things that you will do when you before you drift off to sleep, basically, when you lay in bed at night. And these 3 things are: number 1, find something from your day to feel grateful for. And number 2, find something from your day, like a micro win, to celebrate. And think about it for a few seconds and say, like, bravo, Angelo, this was fantastic. Bravo. Even the simple things. And number 3, and maybe the most important of all, something that you will find it a complete game changer. You do not want to sleep with poison in your mind. So if something happened during the day, even though your emotions were at peak state most of the time, if something happened that needs to be forgiven, forgive this person, this circumstance right now, before you go to sleep, because you want to let go of this emotional state, this bitterness, and sleep with a quiet and peaceful mind. So bring that person or that incident in your mind and say, I forgive you completely, sincerely, and irrevocably, and mean it. And if you have to say it 2 or 3 times, do it. It's completely worth it. Do it before you drift off to sleep. Always remind yourself that you want to drift off to sleep in the best state possible, because this is how you prime for the next day. So, this is the 4x3 matrix that is the 3x3 matrix that is actually the 4x3 matrix. But what matters now is, right now I've been talking to you for like 17 minutes. I hope it was worth your while, but what will truly be worth your while is to invest a few minutes every single day to go through this blueprint. Remember, Tony Robbins likes to say, life is happening to you. What I like to say is that I am happening to life. I see the outer world as something that cannot change until I change my inner world. So every single day, I want to take as many conscious steps as possible to actually do that. I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm not here to brag. All I want you is to resonate with the success you desire and see it as a natural step. And the more you practice that, wax on, wax off, the more you practice that, the more you will see and feel yourself successful. And the more you do that, the faster you will actually see with your eyes open the success you desire with your digital product. So, this is all I had to say for this week. What I want to encourage you again to do is to go back to masterclass number 3 and do the meditation again and again and accustom yourself with this frequency. This is the most important step of all. Talk to you next week. Ciao, ciao.